Swayam Prabha. Digital India. Educated India.
Good morning. Welcome back to the course on Computer Integrated Manufacturing. I am Dr. Amandeep Singh. Professor Ram Kumar has already discussed a lot about the computers in manufacturing, geometric modeling, computer graphics. Then we have discussed computer aided design and computer aided manufacturing, computer aided part programming, CNC machines. This was all the theoretical concepts that we have discussed. You have also seen the numerical problems on the CNC programming and also the CNC machines. In this week, I will give you demonstration on the CAD and CAM majorly. What is CAD, computer aided design? You know it very well. In this lecture, I like to discuss or give a short demonstration on the software of CAD. The software that I have picked is SolidWorks. SolidWorks is one of the softwares that is very prominently used in the market. However, there are certain softwares in the market such as SolidWorks, Creo, CATIA, Fusion 360, then what more, AutoCAD not to forget. There are certain softwares in the market. What generally is a CAD software? When I say software, software has to minimize the human effort. Software has its own evaluation platform, its own calculations. Whatever we give input to a software, it does some processing and gives you the output. So, it reduces the effort. Now, what is a CAD software? CAD software is essentially a software where you can design, where you put your design using the input devices such as keyboard and mouse. And the software that you should use when designing something to be 3D printed is entirely dependent on when you try to make. Like 3D printing softwares and the CNC softwares are different softwares. 3D printing and CNC both can be done on the similar softwares, and there are specific dedicated softwares for CAM, dedicated software for CAD, dedicated software for additive manufacturing, all those things are there. So, what essentially is a CAD, computer aided design? It is the use of computers to help in the creation, modification, analysis, optimization, evaluation of a design. CAD software is used to increase the productivity, as I just said. Its use in designing in electronic systems is sometimes known as electronic design automation, EDA. For mechanical it is MDA, mechanical design automation, or also CAD, CAD is in mechanical is known as computer aided drafting. So, CAD software for mechanical design uses either vector based graphics to depict the objects of traditional drafting, or maybe also produce raster graphics showing the overall appearance of designed objects. We have already discussed these things in the theory. Now, I would like to discuss about this SolidWorks software that I have picked for the demonstration in this lecture. So, this is the interface for the SolidWorks software. So, when you open the system in the SolidWorks, this is the interface. So, this is SolidWorks 2018. So, this was started by Dassault Systems, the DS is for Dassault Systems. So, the version is 2018. So, there are certain new commands which have come in this software. In the previous version those were not there. So, let us try to see how do we use this interface. So, when we click here, the file is just for saving tools, so many tools are there. So, when I go to this home, so it shows us the interface. So, this is part, assembly and drawing. Part is basically making a single part or component, like part programming that we have discussed. Assembly is assembling of the parts that we have made as a components, and drawing is the just producing the professional drawings for them. So, let me click on the part. So, when I click part, this is the interface that is opened. So, this is the work area that where we work here, and there are certain, on the left side we have a navigation pane, there are different features, there are different managers here, and we have tabs here. This is the controlling commands or operations that we can do here. So, these are the all view icons and certain other indication icons. So, these are various shortcuts for the home and so on. So, this is our workplace or interface. We can see at the bottom left there is x, y and z axes in different colors, green, red and blue. So, this the intersection of that is our region. So, this is feature manager. So, this it has history, senses, annotations and the views, the materials, then all top, front and right view planes, not views, planes are there. So, also we have the property manager. Property manager comes into existence only when we select some of the operations, some of the sketches or some of the surfaces. So, it would be activated at that point. So, these are the only two major managers that we will consider in this presentation. So, others we can ignore for the time being, because SolidWorks is not just an hour game to learn, because SolidWorks or any of the CAD software is not something that can be learnt in an hour or so. So, I will just discuss about a few important things. This would be a crude presentation in which dimensions of few important spheres of the software would be selected to make a 2D drawing, to make a 3D drawing from the 2D drawing, and a few major commands like mirror and to give dimensions, all those, a few of these things would be discussed here. So, definitely there are a lot of videos available online by the SolidWorks itself, by the software developer company itself, by the Resolve Systems. We can go through that if we need to learn, and the people who are already working in CAD CAM, this might be a little low level lecture for them, because I am gonna start it from the very basic. So, these are the two major managers that we will work on. So, these are the major command as I just said. So, when I click features, these are features here, extruded, boss. So, whatever we do in CAD model, that comes here in the workplace. So, we have to fix some parameters and develop our objects here. So, this is a extruded boss base, revolve boss base, and so many operations are there. So, when I click sketch, it will show certain sketches here, then surfaces are there, evaluation. So, others we can just avoid as for now. So, this is a wide working area is given here to work. So, CATIA and SolidWorks are two prominent software which are being used, and yes, Fusion 360 is also one of the software that is available in free versions. The SolidWorks is also available in the student version. Full version can also be accessed for 60 days or so, but the student version with a limited edition is also available, that is completely free. So, let me try to start from the scratch. So, we need a plane first to start. So, we need to decide the plane here. Then I will have to select the plane, front, top or right plane. So, suppose if I need to draw a circle. So, in which plane would I like to draw the circle? If I have to, first I have to select the plane for that. So, let me select this top plane, and this is normal to. Now, if I click here normal to, I will have a view normal to the top plane. So, also we can rename the plane if we develop a new plane, or we would like to name the plane something different, that can be done. So, again I will select the top plane normal to it, then it is showing in blue color in the beginning. So, let me select circle. When I click circle here, you can see that the property manager is now enabled. So, many types of circle can be drawn. So, but the two major kinds that I will show here, circle, see these are 2 points, center and the second point is the radius of the circle. So, this is one of the ways, and second way is also in which 3 points can be, the 3 points mean the 3 diametral points of the circle can be taken. So, when we come here at the center of the plane, you will see a red dot. This is the origin. So, this is ZX and this is origin. So, I will come to the origin and start my circle from here. So, you can see this is free, this is not locked, this is free, this R is showing here, R is equal to something, this is being variable. So, I have just clicked at the center and clicked, and I am holding my left click of the mouse, and if I leave it now here, it is still showing blue. So, in the property manager now you can see that we can vary the radius of the circle. The different parameters what could be put, x and y coordinates, x and y coordinates, these are the coordinates for the region, and this is the radius of the circle. Suppose if I put 50, so it is showing 50 here, it is now showing 50 mm radius circle. Now, what if I have to develop a 3D drawing of this circle? How to first save this? We have close dialog, here is a green tick button, that is accept. Accept means we save it and then exit it. Another way is on the right side here, if I click this, it will again save and exit the present drawing. Close to that we have a cross icon here, which means close. This would not save and clean it out. So, to save it, the two ways, on the left side, on the right side, we have to save it. That is, click means okay, accept. Now the circle is made, it is even saved. So, okay, now I come to features. So, I click here extrude boss or base. So, what does this mean? I will add material to the body. Now, this is the top view, extrusion command is now activated. So, it is just showing, it is not showing the extrusion now, because it is just showing the top of them. So, what I do, I click at the open space and drag my mouse. Now, I can see different views, you can see. So, it is, the circle is now turned to a disc. So, we can rotate object in this way. This can be done by just left click and then moving the mouse. So, we can provide extrusion by either dragging this arrow, this is one way. Other way is we can just select the type of the extrusion that we need to put here. Is it a blind or up to vertex or up to surface or offset from the surface? If suppose if there is some other body, it will again go up to the other body surface or the other body vertex. So, though this is a single body, we can just select here. So, I will select mid plane. What does mid plane mean? Mid plane mean that it has selected the circle as the mid plane and extruded it on the both sides. Now, it is asking the dimension, that is the extrusion length. If I call it as a cylinder, it is asking the height of this cylinder. Let me put 50 mm. So, this is also important to understand, the units by default those are given here are in mm. So, also we can set the units, we can change the units to inches, there are different unit systems. So, let us try to see that how do we set the units. So, these are setting button at the top. If I click this button now, okay, first I have to save this. So, now it is saved. Now, if I click here and I go to document properties and I click units here, you can see different unit systems here. It is MKS, CGS, MKS is meter kilogram second, CGS, present unit that is active is mmgs, it is millimeter gram and second. So, we are using this. So, length is millimeters and weight in gram and time in seconds. So, though we are not talking about the weight and time here in the simulation, if we go for the SolidWorks MBD, or if we like to simulate this, if we like to see the properties here, so then we might have to put some weight to the material, we have to select the material, or sometimes in the library, in the software library there are certain materials kept, we need to pick those materials. We can also have the stress analysis, we can move the body, in that case time also comes into the play. So, those units are used there. So, this is the extruded body that is made. So, various operations. So, okay, now I can see this operation here. Also, yes, this is an operation has a sub operation in it, that is sketch. I can delete any of the operations while clicking delete here. So, now extrusion is deleted, but sketch remains. The sketch is circle and the extrusion is our cylinder, that is what was made from the circle. So, now yes, we can, and also we can edit sketch. If I right click here, I will see, or I just go there, it will show the icon on edit sketch. I just clicked over the edit sketch and okay, and making it normal to the plane. So, I can edit this sketch. I can edit this sketch implies I can change the dimensions of the circle. So, let me change it to 40 mm now. Okay. If I now like to make a different geometry, suppose if I like to make a line here. So, I will just click line. So, now it is asking various options as sketched, horizontal, vertical, angle. So, what kind of line do we need? So, as sketched is something that we sketch here, horizontal would be exactly horizontal based upon the axis. So, if I click as sketched, now I will just click here and leave my left mouse button here. Now, a line is made. Okay, while working on SolidWorks, anytime if you press escape, you can escape from the command that is active now. When your mouse is active or some command is active. So, it is actually in a practice that you just keep your left hand close to the escape button, because at times or multiple times you have to keep pressing the escape button to exit the active command. So, this is a line. So, you can see the line has a little extended out from the circle. So, suppose if I like to make a semicircle from this, how do I do? So, we can just see this trim entries, trim command here, that is there in the sketches. So, there are certain options, power trim, corner trim, trim away inside, trim away outside, trim to closest, certain ways are here. You can see these. So, right now let me use this power trim. What does power trim mean? So, power trim is if I click here, I am just going freehand, whenever at the point if I touch anything, it just goes off. So, again this is trimmed, again this part is trimmed. So, it will trim the object, it will trim the sketch between any two intersections. So, by dragging the mouse we can just trim them. So, accept. Now, we have got a semicircle. Okay, one of the 3D objects I showed you was extrusion. Now, suppose if I like to make sphere from this semicircle, that is making a ball out of this. How do I do? I come here, this is revolved boss or base. So, where do I need to revolve it along? I will go to features and click revolved boss or base. Now, it will ask from where would you like to revolve, ask axis of revolution. I will put this as, if I just click this as the axis of revolution, it has revolved it completely, it has turned into a complete ball. Why it has done so? Because there were certain options like revolve, blind, revolve up to vertex, revolve up to surface, offset from surface and so on. So, since the angle is 360 degree here, so 360 degree here means it has completely revolved to 360 degree and turned it to a sphere. Now, we can also revolve to maybe mid plane or up to some vertex or so on. So, let me try to change this angle. Suppose if I like to just revolve up to 270 degrees, that is 3/4. Okay. Now, it is now 270 degree revolved. So, we can also decrease and increase while just clicking here on the arrows up and down. increasing or decreasing the revolve angle. Also yes, if I click this arrow, you can see if I click here, it is showing 297 degrees. It is increasing and decreasing whenever I move my mouse along this. See, it is showing the graduated scale as well, that what angle would you like to revolve. So, this is a very common function that is used in SolidWorks or any of the CAD softwares. So, let me turn it to 360-degree back. So, let me accept this. Okay. So, this is a hard ball. Hard ball, actually I had added a volume to it. A hard ball means I have added a volume to it. So, this is a complete solid ball that is being shown here. So, we have applied a volume to it. You can see I am rotating it, rotating the view. Now, suppose we want to change the radius of the ball. We can just go to the sketch only, and I will go to edit sketch, that is customize, sketch, edit sketch. I will just click on the semicircle value. I will see this value, this radius is 40. I will turn or change this radio, let me say 55 mm. Now, the circle, the sketch is changed. Now, this is changed. See, nothing has happened yet, because I have just clicked the semicircle, the radius of semicircle is changed. Now, if I click it again, it will change the radius of the complete body here. So, it is basically a CAD software in which editing can be done very easily. So, we can change the dimensions, but it is important to note here that change in dimension of the one object or one part brings change to the dimensions of the all the assemblies where this part is used, if it is used directly. It has to be done very carefully. One has to be mindful that what he or she is changing. So, let us try to see some other operations. So, let me try to delete this again. Okay. Okay. Let me try to use the same sketch, and okay, let me try to extrude this now. So, features and extrude this. Okay. Now, it has made this extrusion. So, accept it, any dimension whatever it is selected. So, suppose if I like to create two circles over a specific face of this body. So, let me select this face here. So, whenever we need to create something, we need a plane. So, let me select this plane. So, I will click anywhere at this point. If I select, now this will be selected as my point, and I go to sketch, and okay, yes, the plane that was selected was not right. Now, I need to select this circle. I will select circle and click it here. It has become center, and then when I leave it here, it will just make this a circle. Okay, Control Z is used for undo. Yes, this is also very important, like escape. Control Z, escape will just make you escape the present active command, and Control Z is there in which you undo the command or the operation you just did. So, I will just make a circle here. So, if I need another circle, so I will put another circle here. So, at different locations we have created a circle. Okay, accept. Okay, now let me first change the radius. Let me change the radius of this circle to 10, and this circle, let me change this value to, okay, from here I will change this value to 20. Okay. Now, both of them are selected, and if I select extrude, both of them will extrude simultaneously. So, it is okay 50 mm, whatever we have fed before, it has already taken that dimension 50 mm as the extrusion length. So, this is the model that is being created, just a hypothetical model, not specific component or part that we are going to use anywhere. So, let us try to see some other operations or some other commands or parameter change that we can do here. Okay, one of the things that we can do is, it is very commonly used, is fillet. Okay, if I click on fillet, it will ask the edge that is to be filleted. So, this edge can be applied with a fillet. So, it is asking the fillet types, coordinate variable, face fillet, full round. So, constant size fillet, variable size fillet, face fillet and full round fillet, certain types are there, and fillet radius is given here, full preview, partial preview, no preview, symmetric and asymmetric. Symmetric if it is both sides, like on the vertical and the horizontal side or at the 90-degree, we would like to make it symmetric or it is asymmetric. So, let me change this to symmetric and give it value. So, 10 mm seems a little big on this, let me change to 5 mm. Okay, this is okay, somewhat okay, then better, somewhat okay than before. So, this is fillet. So, same fillet we can apply on the other part directly like this. Okay. Okay, change to 5 mm. So, now the fillet appears. So, if I need to apply the same command or same operation on the other side, I will just click there because this is already active. Okay, it is applied here. So, I accept it. So, we can see a little smoothened surface on the edges is there. So, this is fillet command applied, fillet operation. So, one of the close friend of fillet is chamfer. Fillet is a curve with a radius. Chamfer is a straight surface. You can see different types of chamfers here. So, it is a slant height or a straight height. Edge is smoothened, but surface that is created is also a plane surface. So, let me try to apply chamfer here. So, it is showing chamfer of distance 10 mm, angle 45 degree. So, let me try to change this length also to 5 mm. So, when I click here, so I will click right button. Now, we can see the chamfer is applied here. So, exactly 45 degree and 5 mm. So, this is fillet, this is curved and this is straight, the other one is straight, that is chamfer. So, in machines actually we cannot all the time use these sharp or edges. It is generally like this because someone has to hold that, the hands are there are certain curves are there, certain angles are there. So, this is very important thing when we design physical components. So, let me try to see another command. So, let me try to delete this and try to put some other operation now here. So, I am just trying to pick some random operations and try to give you just small information on how SolidWorks work. So, let me pick one more sketch here. Okay, for this sketch I have to pick a plane. So, let me try to see normal to the plane, normal to the tape plane. Yes, this is important to note that how do we pan that? We click the control button and then we move it, it can pan, and the central scroll up and down can just make it zoom in and zoom out. And by the simple left click, it can show different views, it can just rotate it like this. This is just a left click. So, just we need a normal view, I will just select normal view, top plane, normal view, normal to the top. Now, let me start with the rectangle again. So, corner rectangle, center rectangle, 3 points. So, certain ways of drawing the rectangle as well, again a corner rectangle. So, when we click corner rectangle, it will ask the points 1, 2 points. So, 1 point and hold and leave it here, second point So, this is the first rectangle that is created. So, it shows all blue. So, the blue line here shows that is not constant, the dimensions are not yet fixed, that is we can just change the dimensions. So, suppose if I click here and try to move it, so if I change the dimension here, I make it 100, you can see this is vertical axis. Okay, these small green squares, what does they show? That okay, it is showing these two are horizontal lines, and these two, this is vertical, this is vertical, this is horizontal to the axis, this is vertical to the axis. So, let me give some dimension here, let it give it is 50. Okay. So, now it is fixed. So, let me try to put some more feature over it. So, let me try to first extrude this. Okay, this is extruded here. So, let me give some dimension here 50 mm. So, let me try to put some other, okay, first accept it, then I like to put some other feature over it. So, let me try to do an extrusion, an opposite to extrusion, that is extrusion cut. What does that do? That makes a hole blind or through on the surface. This is the normal view of the face that we are going to select. First we need to put the circle along which we will cut the hole. I am just creating a random circle here. So, this is okay. If suppose if I need to align this to a region, I will change this to 0 and 0, very simple. Now, the circle has by itself come to the origin of my workspace here. So, let me try to give the radius as 30 mm. So, from the origin 30 mm radius and parallel to the plane. Now, the circle appears in the black body, that is it is fully constant, it is not variable, it is completely locked now, that is the black color that indicates. Blue color indicates that it can be varied, it is not constant. When it is made constant, the dimensions are fixed, then the color turns to black. So, now let me try to extrude cut. I put an extruder and click on the surface that will be cut. So, let me try to rotate it. So, on the top view it will not be seen, in the other view we can see that it has cut it. So, what are the kinds of the extrude cut those can be made? So, it is blind through all, both, up to line, up to vertex, up to surface, then offset from the surface and so on. Let me try to make this a blind hole of 60 mm. Okay, 60 mm is a blind hole that is selected here. So, I will accept it. So, though 60 mm is larger than the width of the rectangle or width of the cube that is there. So, this blind hole itself has turned to a through hole, because the length for the hole that is given is 60 mm here. So, I am rotating it. So, this is extruded cut. So, there are certain hole operations like hole wizard, adventure hole. We are not going through any complex operations that you might not be able to understand at this point of time if you are an amateur or if you are a very beginner. So, let me turn it back to the normal view and try to make another sketch over it. So, let me try to make a polygon. So, this polygon, click center and leave it here. So, this is a hexagon here. So, we can change the polygon in two ways, either we change the radius of the circle that is inscribed in the polygon, or we change the length of the edge here. So, in polygon generally the length of the edge is known. So, we have just fixed something here. So, we want to change the same extrusion, we want to apply same extrusion here. So, it is extrusion cut here. So, this is already blind. Blind means up to certain millimeter. So let me try to change its length. Now, it is 40 mm blind. Through all would be obviously through all. So, up to mid plane is one of the options. Okay, blind up to, let me say 30. Okay, up to mid would also actually up to mid would be up to 25 mm, and a blind up to 30 mm is whole or up to 30 mm here. Would accept. You can see this slot here, we call it slot or a blind hole, hexagonal hole. It is a cavity. Okay, one of the things I like to show you is, suppose if you need to sweep this object from one plane. So, what is sweep? So, let me try to pick the plane along which a sweep has to be done. So, this is front plane I have selected. Okay, along this plane I like to sweep it, not along this plane, like at the side of this plane. I will create a line, just I am creating a line, I am selecting sketch, that is line. Okay, select. Okay, click on the line, then at any point in the space I click, then I just made a random profile, escape. Okay. So, how to combine, how to touch this line to the object? One way is we can just drag it there. Okay. Okay, I will suggest some other way. You see, to make an object or to make a drawing in SolidWorks, there are certain ways. There are number of methods, a number of ways in which you approach the specific design, in which you make the specific drawing or the model. There are number of features that can be used. It is suggested, I would definitely like to suggest you to use multiple ways to design the CAD model. You can use different features, you can use different ways, like if you now make different holes which are similar to each other, you can just use pattern command, you can use mirror command, different ways to do that. So, more features you know, more handy would the software to you. So, it is suggested to use different commands or different operations to make the similar kind of drawing. So, in this case what I am doing, I am trying to make a line or the profile to be connected. So, what I do, I will see this dimension, this distance between these two, this is 2.29. I will make this distance as 0. Okay, if this is made 0, now that means it has touched the body. So, now I need to sweep this. What is sweep? So, a swept boss, if I see there, you can see here that there is some profile that is touched with that, and also there is a green icon here that shows that it is not yet fixed. Okay, now come to features and let me select this profile, all these in one go. I need to sweep this face along this line. Okay, face along this line. See, this is how sweep happens. The whole face is swept along this line. So, this is how it happens. So, this is accepted. So, we have got this body here. This is a sweep operation, and this is also an important operation to learn. So, another operation like sweep is loft. Okay, I am leaving it for you. I would like you to install SolidWorks on your computers if you have systems. If you might not be specifically having, I would suggest you to work in groups and to use your friends' computers, or maybe in your institutes you can use different computers. Try to install the SolidWorks and try to work on the different features. And if you have any questions we would be happy to answer them. If you need any commands and how does this happen in SolidWorks, you can suggest you those. So, this you can definitely practice in your institute. So, next what I will do, I will pick another sketch here. So, I will try to pick a plane, this top plane is picked here. So, this is already we have a rectangle on the top plane. So, let me try to first delete this rectangle again, or we can edit this rectangle. Okay, let me separately deleting the different lines, that is also one of the ways. So, I am showing you different ways to delete. This is normal. So, let me say if I need to create a pattern, as I just said, if you need to create different bolts, different nuts of similar size, then you can create a pattern for them as well. So, let me try to put some radius here. Okay, let me put 90 as a radius for this circle and accept this. So, then extrusion. So, let me put extrusion value as 20. So, it has turned to a disc now. So, this is a disc of 20 mm height and 90 mm radius. So, let me try to put various pins over it. So, how does that happen? So, let me try to put one circle over it. So, we can see a blue dotted line here. What does this show? This shows the vertical axis, this shows the horizontal axis. Is actually top plane. You can see at the bottom left that it is showing ZX, it is ZX view because it is a top view here. So, this is the origin. So, this is the center line. I am just putting this center line here. Let us try to see again. How do I put center line? Oh, this is vertical and horizontal line. I will align center line here. I will click here and try to put this center line to this extent here. So, this is just for the reference, a center line is there. Okay. You might be knowing the notation for the center line. So, how to draw the center line you have seen. So, let me draw a circle here. So, I draw a circle of some radius, let me say radius 5, okay, accepted. So, you can see a circle is here. Now, I need to extrude this circle, okay, this is extruded, okay, let any random length whatever it has selected. Now, we need this pattern in the whole disc distributed evenly. We can select the number of pins here. So, I will click here on the linear pattern, I will see I will select circular pattern from here. It will ask instant spacing or equal spacing. So, I will put equal spacing, then how many numbers do you need? All along 360 degree, how many number? Let me say if I say 8, I put the number 8 here, and it will asking direction, that clockwise or anti-clockwise. It is clockwise is selected here, 8 numbers symmetrically put there. So, x, y, z direction it is asking. Okay, everything is correct. Okay, done. So, when I click the body, it has created pins here, 8 pins. I won't say pins, it has produced 8 repetitions all along the circle 60 degree. If I turn the number to 10, 11, 12, so on, it will show the equal number of the bodies or the objects those we have created here. So, this is pattern. So, similar pattern in extrusion cut, extruded cut can also be produced. In that, suppose, okay, let me pick rectangle now here. So, I will make a rectangle here at the center. So, then select, then rectangle is selected, I will put extrusion cut, it will cut extruded rectangle, select. So, let me try to put one more pattern here. For this pattern, let me try to select the linear one now. Yeah, this is selected. So, cut extrude is selected and go to linear pattern. It is showing various direction where we would like to, in which direction we would like to do pattern on this direction. The number is 5. Also in the both the directions can also be done if I select both the directions, and if I say on the other direction as well, in the second direction it is just showing 1. I turn this number to 2, 3, 4, the distance is also there. At each 50 mm it is producing the pattern. So, 4. So, let me turn this back to 1 only, in one direction only, and select. So, it has made the cut extrude here, cut extruded pattern here, or extruded cut pattern. So, this is how do we use pattern command. Also, yeah, one of the options is mirror option. So, first we need to select what we would like to mirror. For mirror, there is a command here, or the option there, mirror. Okay, for mirror, let me select a different body. So, I will select a plane, let me select a top plane. Again, from the start I am doing, just I will select, I will select sketch here. So, select for the mirror command, let me select rectangle again. I will make this rectangle. Okay. You can also change the dimension as you like. 100. This is again, let me say 60, some random dimensions. Okay, there is a fix button. If I fix this, now it won't change now. So, we can easily change this. If we do not want to change this, we can use fix command here. Okay. So, let me try to extrude this. So, other operation mirror I was talking about. So, I have made a cut extrude for you here, and I like to just mirror this. So, this is a box kind of a shape that has made. So, I will just select the whole body here. So, I will go to mirror command, and in a mirror command you will see mirror face and plane. It is asking mirror face. If I select this face, it will mirror it. So, when I say mirror, by mirror means, yeah, it has not come very perfect. Why? I will just let you know. What does mirror means? Mirror means your right hand is the mirror of your left hand. Your right arm is a mirror of your left arm. So, when I say pattern, it will just produce this, similar kinds of shapes. If I say mirror, it will just mirror it. It will put a mirror here and then mirror it over. So, how does mirror work? Let us see. So, it did not come here properly. So, what was missed? Let us see. So, because the whole geometry was not selected, to select the whole geometry, we need to check this here, geometry pattern. So, if I say geometry pattern, yes, the whole geometry pattern is selected and it has mirrored it. So, this is a mirror command. There are a number of other commands, a number of SolidWorks is full of commands. If I keep working on them, you can select, okay, so many commands are there, you can mirror on the other side. So many similar commands are there. If I keep working on them, it will definitely take whole day. Even in one day, one cannot expert. The only thing that makes you expert in SolidWorks is practice. So, if you practice more, you will keep learning the things, try to pick some examples or some problems, those are there in the industry, or you develop your own problems, you can definitely keep learning how to use SolidWorks software. Okay, one thing is important, that is the holes, the types of holes. So, let me select another command. One of the important commands or one operations that I would like to show at the last here is different kinds of holes. There are different kinds of holes here. So, let me select this plane where I like to make the hole. So, this is counter bore hole, counter sink hole, this is a pin or hole, blind hole, this is straight up hole, so many holes are there. We can select a specific kind of hole and just apply it here. So, if I select apply it here, it has some dimensions. So, there are certain dimensions, certain standard dimensions are there in the library. So, it is asking okay 11 mm or 12 mm dia of the head of the hole, and what is the angle of the counter bore that you have selected. If I select it here, so it has made a hole that is a counter bore, a hole then a boring over it. It is generally used to adjust the space for the screw or the bolt that we use over it. So, in this case it would be screw. For bolting we have to have a spanner. So, this is also important thing. So, similarly there are certain things that can be done. So, let us see the various features at the center of the workplace here. This is zoom to fit. This does zooms in and zoom out. So, if in drawing we are just immersed in the drawing, we can't see. If I just click this button, it will just zoom it to fit it proper in the space. It is zoom to fit. So, this is zoom the area. So, if I select this area, it will zoom this area only. So, this is the go back to the previous view, and this is section view. Section view is the wherever we move this plane, it will just show the section of that plane. So, this is section view. So, similarly there are different kinds of views are there. So, this is the general things those we can do in the SolidWorks. Okay, this is orientation. So, in this we can see okay different orientation it is showing here x, y and z planes, different orientations here. So, which orientation would you like to see? So, there are certain shortcuts, there are keyboard shortcuts as well there for the SolidWorks. Definitely you can also learn those shortcuts as well. In the beginning it is easy to use mouse, because the mouse makes your life quite easy, and you can just keep on clicking and keep on changing whatever dimensions you like. You just use the number keys on the keyboard to put the dimensions. So, if you learn the keyboard shortcuts, suppose there are certain softwares, because people generally pick one or two softwares where they like to work in, and they will keep on mastering themselves in that software and keep on producing the models or the components or assemblies, animations on them. So, if the software that you choose is SolidWorks, you can also learn the shortcut keys on the keyboard, because that also makes the process very quicker. So, this was just an introductory lecture on SolidWorks. I like to stop here because the complete information of SolidWorks will be too long, and I will definitely take some more part like the assembly and the drawing part in the SolidWorks, and like you to introduce to the component based and assembly based softwares. That introduction would happen, and after that we will go to the CAM part, computer aided manufacturing. I like to show you the computer aided manufacturing software, introduction to the very common software, those are there in the market. A few of them, the top 6 or 7 softwares, I will just discuss a few features of them. Then I will show you the Power Mill software. Power Mill is one of the CAM softwares that can help us to generate the NC code, numerical control code, for the CAD drawing that we have there. And also then we will go to the laboratory to have demonstration and to see how does actually CNC machining happens, and what are the various intricacies those are to be taken care of when we actually work on the machine. So, let us meet in the next lecture. Thank you.